Hello there. Welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here, and today we're talking about some 4Ks, and we're talking about MVD and 4Ks and Blu-rays. But these are some of the first 4Ks we're seeing from MVD released proper, and they're coming out of the gate strong with Rain Man to start with. This is the award-winning film from 1988. A big one for Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman. I was really surprised just how much money this film made when it came out. I do remember the phenomenon of it. I was alive at the time. I don't know if I saw it in a theater, but it definitely had a big impact on me. Tom Cruise plays one Charlie Babbitt, who is sort of a self-centered, narcissistic, money-focused guy who has been estranged from his father and finds out that his father has died, and he has to go and check out the reading of the will, which nets him a classic car and nothing else. Except he finds out that he has a brother who is something of an autistic savant, played by Dustin Hoffman. And he decides that the money has been left to Hoffman's character, who is living in an institution, and he basically kidnaps his brother and takes him on a road trip back to LA with him to try to negotiate for some portion of the, I think, $3 million that has been left as the estate to the brother character. The brother's name is Raymond. And so this, is a very quotable movie. There's lots of great repeated lines from Hoffman's character. He obviously went really deep into research and came up with this, incredible portrayal of this character. And it's a really, I'd forgotten how emotionally powerful the movie is, and how, it's a classic kind of arc. Selfish man, becomes unselfish, realizes, there's more to the world than him. We've seen it before, but it's director Barry Levinson, who had done things like Diner and Tin Men, and, a great writer-director. And so it's no surprise that this film really connected with a lot of people like it did in 1988. And like I said, made a good deal of money, won a lot of awards, and yeah, just really a wonderful film. Co-starring Valerie Galino. I'm trying to think. There's a few more. Bonnie Hunt. Some folks that I recognize showed up in the film, but it's really the story of these brothers getting to know each other after having kind of been estranged most of their lives. And you get to hear sort of what happened in terms of why they were separated. And it's a really powerful, revealing story. And like I said, I really enjoyed catching up with it. And this is a nice looking 4K, and this also includes a Blu-ray. And so, as is often the case with these Blu-rays and 4Ks, the 4K disc includes, you're getting most of the features here. So the 4K disc, this is a master created and provided by MGM, was scanned in 4K from the original camera negative and was approved by director Barry Levinson. And then you're getting 3 commentary tracks, which is impressive. You get one with director Barry Levinson. Now, these, I think, are older tracks, maybe from previous DVD or Blu-ray releases, but 3 separate tracks. One from Barry Levinson himself, which is cool. I like Levinson a lot, and I haven't heard a ton of commentaries from him, so I'm always intrigued by his approach to the filmmaking, storytelling, any obstacles he had to deal with, etc. So he's a great listen. Then we have one from writer Barry Morrow and another from writer Ronald Bass. And yeah, they're the two credited screenwriters on this one. And so you get a lot of insights into this story, what went into it, and the writing process by getting two writers talking about it. And I do think it's a timely thing to have two writers, being, of course, the strike is still going on at the time of this recording for the WGA, the writer's strike. And so I love to hear from screenwriters, just what is their process, how do they go through it, and you're getting a lot of information from both of them on this one. There's some writing information on the Levinson track as well. So those are your three tracks that are included with the 4K. And then the Blu-ray includes those tracks. And in addition to that, includes something called The Journey of Rain Man, which I think is probably from a DVD. It's an SD format, 22-minute sort of making of type featurette. And then you get Lifting the Fog, a look at the Mysteries of Autism featurette, which is about 20 minutes. And that's more specifically targeted at, of course, autism and things involved with that. Plus, you get a deleted scene, about a two-minute deleted scene on top of that. So it's a nice, solid film to use as a debut 4K for MVD. So very excited that they've gotten into the 4K world. And on top of that, now they're moving into genre. So this is an MVD Rewind Collection 4K. This is Swamp Thing. This is the DC Comics based adaptation that Wes Craven made a film of. And it says, deep in Florida's darkest Everglades, a brilliant scientist, Dr. Alec Holland, that's Ray Wise, a sexy government agent, Adrienne Barbeau, have developed a secret formula that could end world hunger and change civilization. However, little do they know, however, that their arch nemesis, Arcane, Louis Jordan, is plotting to steal the serum for his own selfish schemes. Looting the lab and kidnapping Cable, Arcane douses Holland with the chemicals and leaves him for dead in the swamp. Mutated by his own formula, Holland becomes Swamp Thing, half man, half human, half plant superhero who will stop at nothing to rescue the beautiful Cable and defeat the evil Arcane, even if it cost him his life. So that's your basic plot. This is a new 2023 4K restoration, a 16-bit scan of the original camera negative. Both the U.S. theatrical PG version of the film and the unrated international version of the film presented in 1851 with Dolby Vision HDR. Just double checking if that was mentioned. HDR was mentioned on the Rain Man, and I don't see it there. But so for those that don't know, there is some nudity in the unrated version, and I know that that was something of a shock when, I can't remember if it was the DVD, I think it was the original Swamp Thing DVD from MGM came out, and there were some complaints from parents when children were watching, and suddenly there's a nude bathing in the swamp scene with Adrienne Barbeau that was not part of the PG cut and is part of the unrated international version of the film. So you get both versions, and both in 4K. You get an audio commentary with writer-director Wes Craven, moderated by Sean Clark of Horror's Hallowed Grounds, and that's only for the PG theatrical version. And also with that version, you get an audio commentary with makeup effects artist William Munn, moderated by Michael Felsher. So you get multiple commentaries, multiple approaches, one of filmmaking, one more focused on effects. There is a LaserVision 4K LaserVision mini poster that you get inside here, and of course the slipcover. Now this also includes a Blu-ray, which has all the stuff I mentioned, the commentaries, and then it has some additional stuff, including Tales from the Swamp, which is remastered apparently with actress Adrienne Barbeau. That's a 17-minute interview with her. Hey Jude, actor Reggie Batts. These are HD supplements. 14 and a half minutes interview. The Swamp Thing with Len Wein, creator of the Swamp Thing. Talking to the comic book writer. That's 13 minutes or so. and Swamp Thing designing DC's main monster featurette that's about 20 minutes, as well as From Krug to Comics, How Mainstream Shaped a Radical Genre Voice featurette that's about 17 and a half minutes. So you're getting a lot of stuff in here, plus posters and lobby cards and behind-the-scenes pictures from William Munn's, doing the effects and such. So it's a really nice MVD Rewind 4K. So I guess this is the first 4K from MVD Rewind, the sub-label. But yeah, poster, and I don't see the lobby cards, but Blu-ray and 4K included. And I kind of like the sort of retro design that they've gone with for the 4K. It almost looks like magnetic video, Fox kind of style stuff. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so it's another strong debut for a genre title that I know people are interested in and want to own. So that's 2 4Ks from MVD. Moving on, we have a new one from the good folks at Synapse Films, and this is McBain. This is from director James Glickenhaus, who's a big action guy who's gotten a good amount of love on Blu-ray, which I'm actually really happy about. I actually pulled out some Glickenhaus movies. We have one of his first big hit, The Exterminator, which actually was from Synapse as well. A really nice disc, by the way. We have The Soldier. This was a Kino Blu-ray that came out a while back. And then we have Shakedown, which is probably one of my favorite Glickenhaus movies with Peter Weller and Sam Elliott. Kind of a buddy movie, cop and lawyer. Really enjoyable stuff. So he's a really solid filmmaker, and this is one that he did with Christopher Walken in the lead, and he plays McBain. This is about a guy named Santos attempts to lead a people's revolt in Colombia to overthrow the Presidente. When his revolt fails and he has killed his sister Cristina, who is played by Maria Conchita Alonso, who I'm a big fan of, goes to New York to find McBain, a Lieutenant Santos rescued during the Vietnam War. McBain agrees to help, recruits his old war buddies, raises some cash by killing a few drug dealers, and then leads an attack to topple the Colombian government. So it's a revolutionary tale with, Mr. Walken on the heels of, I want to say King of New York was before this, because I want to say that was like 1990 and this is 91. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about those dates. Yeah, no, King of New York is 90. So he's on the heels of that. He's doing a character that maybe seems somewhere between King of New York and Scarface, if you're into those movies. But also the film stars Michael Ironside, Steve James, Thomas G. Waits, Victor Argo. There's a good cast of recognizable character actors here. And this is an underseen movie. Now this, as far as I know, there was a German Blu-ray that I bought. And of course, anything that Synapse is going to do is going to be head and shoulders above some kind of German Blu-ray. So this one, it doesn't mention the scan, but I always take them to do high quality work. So I've never been dissatisfied with a Synapse release. They always do a nice job. This has an audio commentary with director Glickenhaus and film historian Chris Bajali, who's a really great, genre film scholar, and who I look forward to hearing that track and seeing this new version of this James Glickenhaus classic that I can now add to my Glickenhaus collection. So anyway, this is McBain, and new one from Synapse. Moving on, we have Shin Ultraman. This is following, I can't remember how many Shin films there are, but there's definitely Shin Godzilla and now Shin Ultraman. This is about the Japanese government setting up a special task force to fight the giant creatures suddenly appearing across the country, and soon the squad unexpectedly meets a giant silver humanoid who starts appearing every time a space monster attacks. Very curious about this one. I've heard good things about it. Doesn't have much in the way of extras, but It has the original Japanese language audio, optional English language version as well. And it says, there's never a dull day on Japan's newly established SSSP Kaiju Defense Task Force led by Kimio Tamura, played by Drive My Car's Hidetoshi Nishijima. After a particularly challenging encounter, a silver giant descends from the sky to rescue the planet. Dubbed Ultraman, this giant's identity and purpose are a mystery. Shin Ultraman is a delightful reimagining of one of Japan's classic superheroes, full of cosmic twists, charismatic villains, and giant kaiju. Of course, Ultraman spawned an incredibly epic series of movies and TV-related properties, and just hugely popular. And a lot of that stuff has come out from Mill Creek. But this is a new movie, and I'm definitely excited to check it out. It looks like it's a lot of fun. Very cool stuff. So that's Shin Ultraman. Then we have a new one from Cult Epics, a label that, like Mondo Macabro, is very good at digging out things that I've never heard of in the genre space. And they do a great job with the actual transfers and the releases. This one, it says, situated in an Amsterdam brothel, two whores rebel against their lot in life. Meanwhile, one of their customers, a serial killer, kidnaps a housewife. So a few different things happening here. This portrait of sexual power is the second film by Marlene Goris, the controversial director of A Question of Silence, presented in a new 4K transfer with new bonus features. So this is a new 4K scan from the original 35mm negative and restoration. Audio commentary by film scholar Peter Bestratton. An interview with U.S. sex worker Margot St. James is also included. So this one, completely off my radar. Never really heard. I've heard a title like it, but I don't know the film. So very, very curious to check this one out. As I said, this is Dutch with optional English subtitles. But brand new from Cult Epics. This is an all-region disc. And again, a movie that I don't know that they've intrigued me about. So that's Broken Mirrors. And then lastly, we have something called Stoogerama. Stoogemania is another narrative sort of film that actually I would love to see get some kind of a DVD or Blu-ray release. That's only been on VHS as far as I know. But this one is Stoogerama, The Men Behind the Mayhem and Even More Mayhem. 8 hours of unseen rarities. This is a 3-disc set from MVD Visual. And these are all Blu-rays. And this one is it says the Three Stooges have been entertaining fans with their riotous brand of eye-gouging, face-slapping, and head-bopping insanity for nearly 100 years. Now, Cinemuseum LLC and Kit Parker Films, I like Kit Parker, offers fans of the Amalgamated Morons a chance to revisit the golden age of stoogery with this new 3-disc collection of archival rarities. Whether you're a lifelong stoogeophile or just a casual knucklehead, you're sure to find something to love about this comprehensive tribute to America's most beloved madcaps, Moe, Larry, Curly, Shemp, Joe, and Curly Joe, the Three Stooges. So this is like a documentary on top of all kinds. So okay. Digitally remastered and updated HD version of the award-winning documentary program Stooges, The Men Behind the Mayhem, with a new introduction by Curly Howard's real-life grandson, Bradley Server, who's a very interesting and energetic dude for sure. Lost theatrical featurette Surprise, Surprise from 1937, starring Moe, Larry, and Curly. Long unseen short subject Everybody Likes Music from 1934, starring Shemp Howard. And then over 8 hours of bonus material, including unreleased outtakes, color home movies, rare television appearances and commercials, theatrical trailers, unseen archival interview footage, forgotten audio recordings from live Stooge appearances, family photo galleries, and much more new to home video fun. So this is a pretty epic package for Stooge fans. If you know a Stooge fan that has never seen this documentary or has seen it but hasn't experienced all the extra stuff that you're getting in this particular Blu-ray, this seems like a pretty obvious recommendation for you to pick up. So another one that's coming straight from MVD visual with the help of Kit Parker and Cinemuseum. All region Blu-ray. Definitely worth your time, it seems. So that is Stoogerama. And just going back through, we have Rain Man on 4K, Swamp Thing on 4K. We have McBain from Synapse. We have Shin Ultraman, Broken Mirrors from Cult Epics, and again, Stoogerama. So a lot of good stuff coming from MVD all the time. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Check out MVD Shop. You can buy any of these Blu-rays there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.